Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm really truly blessed and loving being here with you today. I am going to be doing a collective reading for all signs, and I used to do this when I had my first channel that I stopped, and now I've rebranded and so forth, but I watch them weekly. I'm very impressed with them. I love them because I do each and every sign for every month, and I've started that as of October, I believe. And so that's going to continue, but this is something I want to do every week, and I would like to do it and have it be posted on Mondays, which means if you have any specific time frames that work, please let me know and comment below, because I want to do this. I'm doing this for you, and I want it to be more convenient than not, but you can always watch it. It doesn't have to be at a specific time, because once it's posted, you can click on that button anytime, right? So I just want to put that out there. In other words, I have Sundays to do them, and then this way I want to be as consistent with you as possible, and so you can check for that. And first of all, and most importantly, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for everybody that has supported my channel and continues to do so. And when you do like and you do resonate and it feels good and you want to come back, just push that like button and please do subscribe, because that's super important to grow my channel and it is deeply appreciated. So we're going to continue on now. And what I want to say is that I have a little bit of a structure that I do. I will be reading with the Celtic Cross layout today, one of my favorites. I did that for the month of December as well. But as I go along, if you've not seen that, it has different placements and they have meaning in the different areas of our life. So I will speak of that as that comes along. And I definitely will be doing some clarification cards if that seems to be of importance with the reading and I get messages to do so. I also will finish with some oracle messages, a spirit card, animal card message, which I think is very important, that I think I never really thought about as much, but have been very much drawn to include, are the animal kingdom of our lives, right? Very much essential part of life. And then I always start off with a chakra check. So first and foremost, the chakras are the energy centers that are within our bodies, and they are what help us to feel whole, complete, energetic, grounded, heart-centered, intuitive, to receive the messages that we receive from the higher power source, however you want to word it. And so when these are a little bit out of balance, it can definitely affect you on the whole. Sometimes they feel like they're blocked or there's a restriction of any kind. This is why I like to always remind you to be aware of this. Take time out every day to maybe go through the 7, actually 8 total chakras, according to this beautiful color deck that I got that associates with the chakras. And so the message that'll come from Spirit today for this collective reading will be the chakra that is most important to be focusing on, okay? Now, I also want to mention that because I am now wearing gloves to demonstrate the energies of color and the meanings that align with the chakras as far as colors go. Today, and actually most of December with all the readings, it was a toss-up between green, representing the heart chakra, and red, which is our base and our root chakra, the very first chakra, our foundation, keeping us strong and present and alive and grateful. And then energy-wise, the fiery aspect of Sagittarius season that we're in, because the moment it started from Scorpio, the water, powerful Mars-ruled fire energy, into Sagittarius, it was just instant. I hope you understand what I mean and you can relate to that. And it felt very, very positive, as it is a very positive sign, Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, the most benevolent, one of the most benevolent planets, right? That add this extra magic and I don't know, miracles and good luck and abundance and expansion. And it comes in our sign every 12 years. And ooh, that's kind of unusual. I mean, that you can't make that happen. So synchronicities, money, just power, all these wonderful things. And so, yes, maybe you too, like I asked or said, could have felt that. We are in a Mercury retrograde. As I stutter over my words, bear with me. This is also in the sign of Sagittarius, and it will be through the 15th of December. So it's a couple weeks. I'm doing this on the 2nd of December. We had the most beautiful, powerful, optimistic new moon in Sagittarius that occurred yesterday. So the effects are still being felt. They can be felt throughout the whole month. And just to speak a little bit more on astrology aspect, which I always do, I always include that because I'm an incredible aspiring astrologist, and I listen to things about it and learn about it every single day for years, but also because we are all affected in this collective reading. So, and not that we're not in our individual readings, but this is just more of a profound energy that we can all relate to in a collective reading, I think. So the full moon will happen on the same day that Mercury retrograde stations forward, and that's going to be in Gemini. And it just so happens Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, and it's actually in the sign of Jupiter, Gemini. Now it's retrograde, as many planets are during this time of year, but it starts to go forward in February. And so the power is always there. It's a little diminished. And then, of course, as far as the fiery energy again, I cannot not mention the fact that Mars has been shadowy in the sign of Leo for a while. It takes about 3 weeks or so, building up to the actual retrograde happening in Mars in the sign of Leo, starting on the 6th, which is this coming weekend. This is power, everybody. This is the most, because Leo is not only a fire sign, which is very complimentary for you and all Sagittariuses. It is about leadership. It's about strength. It's about courage. It's that solar plexus, the yellow, bright brilliance of self-respect, self-confidence, the leader, the actor, taking center stage, being seen, not shying away, not being as introverted or however. Now, when here I go again, but when the retrogrades occur, certainly in Mars, you'll notice a decline in energy of sorts. But I don't feel for a moment it's going to be to the point where you can't function or anything. There'll be days maybe you'll say, oh, I need to rest a little more today. Or, you've had the inclination of wanting to overdo it in the last months prior to this. And now you're feeling like, I'd prefer a more even pace. And all of that's going to be great because in addition to everything else, it's a holiday season. So, for those who celebrate the many holidays and Christmas and Kwanzaa and many more that I can't think of right now, but you know what I mean. It's a festive, beautiful, energetic, very spirited time. So it makes me happy to talk about it. It makes me smile. If you can't tell, I'm smiling. Absolutely. And so the chosen chakra for the day, for this beautiful collective reading, is going to be in the last month, December 2nd, 2024. This is the 8th. This is the 8th chakra. This is so perfect. It's a collective reading, and the 8th chakra represents the wholeness of us all. The fact that we are one consciousness, the fact that we're all connected. And so that is so perfect, Spirit. Thank you so much. Not to mention it's purple, which is my favorite color. It tends to be that the 3 upper chakras, which are the third eye, the crown, and then the 8th, can resonate in colors of lavenders, teals, purples. It represents definitely intuitive and psychic kind of energy, but also just the knowing and that, once again, the all-knowing, that the senses beyond the senses, beyond the veil. it's such a beautiful recognition of our higher purpose and our real reason why we are here. And so I'm going to read to you what it says. And it's simple. It says the 8, which is the 8 in numerology, is actually the most abundant, the most prosperous. It's infinity, you know, it symbolizes infinity because it's never ending and it's unlimited in any aspect of your life. Whatever it is you want to achieve, there's never any ending. That's a man-made belief and thought process. So the 8th chakra, all that my soul has ever been and will ever rest. Let me try that again. All that my soul has ever been and will become rest gently in this moment. My soul-filled power is here now. I love this. I love how so often we think in terms of what may have already occurred, or certainly during a retrograde. It is about introspection. It does bring things up from the past. I mean, it's a common thing as a human being to do this in our mind, you know, and so the power is really in this moment, this very, very moment. It's all we really have. So I love that mantra that you can speak of when thinking of your connection and your divine guidance that's always there, you know, that always is there to help us and to support us. Now, in showing you that, I want to complete it by letting you know that I got this beautiful gift. For those that have watched my channel, I got it as a birthday gift in October, and I'm just so grateful for it. And it actually has the 7. It doesn't have the 8th, but it has the 7 crystals that correlate with each chakra. And I was reading for the last sign, which was the Pisces reading, and it was about the crystal quartz. So that's very much about third eye. That's about very in tune and focusing and, you know, using and utilizing our gifts of intuition and clairvoyance and all the clairs that, you know, we all are gifted with, some more than others, but because some want it or because some are born in a certain way. Your signs, everything about it is unique to you. So for the 8th chakra, like I said, it does not have an actual chakra. So you know what? I'm going to take the liberty of just picking one myself, but let me double check for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, the cards representing this only have that. So with my intuition, I'm actually going to bring out the beautiful amethyst, which represents the third eye, or actually it's the crown, all correlating to our knowing and our understanding and the ability to see and feel things, you know, and that may or not be tangible or seen to the human eye, but are ever present. And it's just a beautiful little crystal. So I'm going to put that in there, and that's going to infuse the reading as well. So that is, that's really beautiful. As we commune together, and I continue with the reading. So I'll set this aside, and I'll put this on, and just let you know that I have absolutely shuffled the deck and blessed it, and ask for clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved. I am using the beautiful deck, which is called the Light Seers deck. Light Seers, excuse me, I said Seers. And this is by Chris Ann. And I saw a beautiful podcast, I guess. I mean, she was, you know, you can see and hear them at the same time on YouTube. And I had never really met her. Still haven't met her, but I had not watched her. And I wasn't aware of her long history of her many tarot decks, but I'm so impressed and so grateful for her creativity and her art. I just absolutely love this deck. And it's very modernized. So as I go along, I will let you know, like I said, each position. And the very first position is going to be for everybody watching their overall energy and how it's going to affect this reading, okay? And you in turn. And so for that first placement, it is going to be the 7 of Cups. Now, this is interesting. Out of the 12 readings I did in December, I would say that at least a quarter of them, 4 of them, out of the 12 received the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is emotion. It is definitely the water element. And you may have water placements within your chart. You may be surrounded with water, relationships, family members, work partners, lovers, whatever the case may be. But it is definitely the element that has to do with our sensitivity, our intuition, the ability to manifest, to create, very creative energy. And the 7 is a spiritual number. 7 represents the guidance that's always there, that co-creation I spoke of. It also definitely has to do with choices. And there's a lot. There's always a lot in life. Sometimes it seems like there are none, but there are actually always more than we could probably ever really deal with. And that's kind of where I'm going to lean towards this message, is that with opportunities coming around, and they will, and especially after a retrograde, you don't necessarily want to pursue too many new ventures in a retrograde. This is a great time for revisiting something, or refinishing it, reevaluating. It could be very reminiscent energy, as I mentioned, where people come from your past, and there's some relaxing is really important. I'll tell you what, I have had more time off than I would have asked for with this holiday season that just passed. And at one point I thought, I'd really prefer to be moving and doing something, because that's what I do. As a full-time massage therapist, I kind of have to keep some kind of a rhythm with that, right? But at the same time, it's so welcome, and it feels absolutely beautiful. And I always have something I can do. Certainly around the house, I have projects I do all the time, and just taking that time is really important. So allow yourself time to contemplate and to really kind of relax and review any opportunities. Don't feel rushed, okay? Because you might end up wishing that you had spent more time thinking about it. Also, too many can be a little bit too much anyway, right? Like if you have too many things going on, too many irons in the fire is a great expression, right? That can actually end up making you extra nervous, extra stressed out. And I would just say less is more. This is a card of, many opportunities, but you need to hone into the ones that you really think are going to be the most useful, because each cup has a different aspect to it, and it doesn't have to be all that daunting or anything. It's just, you don't have to do it all, but you'll probably get a lot of invitations at this time because it is a holiday season. So if you're going on that route, just, once again, don't overdo it. Don't overeat or indulge to the point where you're going to feel way worse the next day. I mean, I'm not here to preach, but that's kind of another important aspect of it. So yes, spoiled for choice is what one of my favorite readers usually uses as an example for that. Chris Reck, perhaps you know him, with Minnow Pond. But anyway, just look at the blue. The blue is using your intuition, using your own self-guidance. It will never lead you astray. And something I never really noticed, it almost feels like these are tuning bowls, which are just, I do see, I think, music on the side of one. Man, is that something I'd love to get into? Maybe an option of mine, that I can pursue, because there's always something new to learn and to pursue. And so that's allowing this collective reading to know that they're out there. Just be discerning, and do what works best for you, and don't feel pressured into it, and don't feel like you have to do it all. Okay, so moving along, the crossing card is going to be the possible blessings or blocks. And wow, you have a second 7. This is interesting. 2 7s like that, once again, still having to do with spirituality and guidance, but really, decision making, really kind of troubleshooting kind of energy, I would say. And the 7 of Pentacles is your earth energy. That is the pentacles, the coins. That is our sustenance. Anything we can tangibly see, feel, touch, and hold on to, if you will, versus what I had mentioned with the cups and the water energy of just kind of, it's spiritual. It's also, our imagination. It comes with, the creativity aspect, but it's elusive too. Water can be, it can be very fluid and it can run through your fingertips, right? And so just 7 of Pentacles is really thinking about what we've planted so far. What seeds have we planted? You do see the reference here of the plant or a tree, and you're nurturing it to the point where it's growing. It's absolutely growing. The 10 of Pentacles is the most you want. That's the ultimate that we strive for in all areas of our life, as far as, the earthly pleasures, our health, wealth, our families, our jobs, our homes, our investments, all of those things, our plants, our gardens, just everything that has to do with, being able to really just get our hands dirty and solidify something. And when you plant that seed, you're doing it for the long term. It's nothing that you rush. It's something you have to have patience with. And as a collective, some of us have it more than others, but whether we have it or not, it is a time constraint that comes with it, that is well worth it in the end. But we've done that most of our lives in some capacity. So depending on what your age is, this isn't your first rodeo. You're okay with this, but you are giving this some thought. And all of these things, like the choices that may come to you as we approach a brand new year, the jobs you're doing, the work you're putting in, the value of yourself and your time and energy, that all seems to really make a lot of sense at the end of every year, as we just kind of review during these retrogrades and take time to stop. I mean, most businesses shut down. So this is very in line with, I would say, and very synchronistic to what time frame we're in right now and with the retrogrades. So now the next card is the foundation. This is essential for all of us. It's essential for our bodies as that base and root chakra I speak of. It's definitely essential for our homes. And if there's anything that's, not balanced and correct and solid in our foundation, certainly that would cause an issue in a home, right? I mean, that's where you have to always get those things checked out, and sooner than not. So that's literal and figuratively, but you have the King of Cups. Woo, okay. Well, there's a lot of emotion here, but the King of Cups, this is somebody, it could be relative to the Cancer, Scorpios, and Pisces of the world. And I can speak a little further on that for sure, because that's very prevalent and will be in the next coming year and for about 18 months. And I'll mention that in a moment. But the bottom line about the King of Cups is this maturity and ability to handle the emotions that come their way. I mean, they've been through everything at this point, right? So they are, well, not everything, because they're still alive. And as long as we're alive, there's always something new to be learned and experienced. But you get what I'm saying, as opposed to the Page of Cups or the Knight. It's about that stable feeling of, I feel good. I feel foundationally from the bottom of my soul and my body and my home, things are feeling good. I put the work in, I put in the love, it's reciprocated, it's coming back. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. It can be very romantic. This could be a very romantic time for many, many viewers out there that are feeling the love very deeply. Now, we actually have Venus in the sign of Capricorn. And that is an earth energy, once again, and that is, that's about our families, that's about our homes, that's about things that, that matter to us in our everyday life in some capacity. So, and I've always said the earth element and the water element are one of the most complementary elements together. Scientifically, just to explain that, if you take the dirt of the earth and you add the water, the two together is what makes the seeds grow in the soil, plentiful, right? It's not one alone, it's the combo of the two. So Venus will go into Aquarius, which is, of course, an air sign, and that happens on the 7th, which is also this weekend. So there's a lot of changes going on, and believe me when I tell you, there's going to be a whole lot more in 2025. So prepare for that in the best of ways. I feel exuberance about it. I feel enlightenment. I feel it's a great time to be alive and to experience this. It's a once in a lifetime experience with these planets doing what they're doing, or certainly in many, many years. For example, Capricorn, as I mentioned, Venus being in, which is the planet of love and beauty and money and magic and sensuality and sexuality and just that love potion number 9 kind of feeling. It is, Pluto was in the sign of Capricorn for a very, very long time, 2008 respectively. But even before that, if you look into history, it's just been a predominance, okay? And the planet has certainly noticed that. And a lot of that was starting to break away, and institutional wise, foundationally, as far as finances and government, you name it, across the board, changes. And we're thinking, wow, things are really, this is big. There's stuff happening. And it happens in that way. It happens chaotically at first, so it seems, and then it also, breaks away for the best possible building up of the new, right? It has to go through the parts that are uncomfortable first, right? Well, we've certainly experienced that in many ways, and we've come through with flying colors, and we'll continue to do so. But Pluto moved into Aquarius on the 19th of November, so not that long ago, and it will continue to grow, and for the next 20 years be in Aquarius, which is completely different than the energy of Capricorn. So that's the air energy, that's our minds, our thoughts, our intelligence, our ability to speak and to communicate and to transfer information to others. It's rebellious, it's Uranus ruled, and it's about changes and disruption, and it's about new ways of doing things and thinking of things, but more importantly, it's about the world at large and working together and working so that we all have justified, balanced kind of incomes and abilities and rights and all those things that we fight for so much in our lives, right? This is what we're entering into. So I'm excited. I really am. And to keep a positive thought process about it is the best thing we can do as a collective. That's that 8th chakra. We're all influenced. So let it be the lighter, because in every aspect of life, there's the light and the dark, and the yin and the yang, and the rich and the poor, and so on and so forth. One doesn't live without the other. It's just how it works in the world, right? So, oh my. Then the recent past is the next position, and you have the 4 of Cups. So this is what they call kind of the card that represents a little bit of boredom. That's one word I can use, and I've certainly heard that many times, and just feeling like there's got to be more. There's something I'm missing. There's something I'm definitely missing. And in fact, that's very appropriate for this card, because you see you have the 3 bowls, cups, receptacles, that energy of emotion and creativity, and like, I want to do stuff. I want to create. I mean, it's the Cancer, which is cardinal, which is about, definitely initiating movement and creation for sure, and the bringing in of the season of summer and so forth. So, and then the Scorpio, that's the fixed but very deep and very much about, transformation and rising above from the depths of our deepest sorrows, and just continuing to rise like the phoenix. And then you've got the Pisces, which is what I wanted to bring up before. We have the new eclipses in the North Node, South Node changing starting in January of 2025, just around the corner here. So in the sign of Pisces. Wow, that is the most spiritual, most incredible, creative, imaginative, just giving, selfless love, compassion, forgiveness, just going to places that go way beyond, the vision. It's the dream. It's Neptune, the planet of, imagination and obscurity, and just the depths of our minds, just allowing so much imagination and beauty. And yeah, so that's happening as we speak. And we had an eclipse starting, a little bit of a little example of that, which was in September of this past year in 2024. It was a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, just to give us an idea, because we actually still have the nodes in Aries, North Node, and Libra, South Node, but not for much longer. Okay, so we all have this capacity in us, whether you're a Pisces or a Cancer or a Scorpio is not important. You have the element of water somewhere. We all have some sign of every sign in all of us in this, the tropical whole house horoscopes that makes a lot of sense, because we're so much more than our sun sign, right? Which is essential, and it's imperative to recognize that it's a very big part of our personality and our dreams and our desires and our wishes and our goals and connections. But yes, you were feeling like there's something missing, and you're being given this fourth cup, and that's going to balance it, because that 4 in numerology is about stabilization. So if you felt like you weren't quite fulfilled, or you felt like there's something you could contribute, one of the cups in the 7 of Cups, like, this is something I want to show. I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start making my own whatever, soaps or candles, and knowing that, it's part of your soul's mission. Okay. And, it's unlimited as to what we can do. And even if you just do it because it makes you feel good, that's reason enough, because you're using your sacral chakra, which is your creativity and your sensuality, and the juices are just flowing, and they have to be. They're what make us thrive in our lives. So that's your recent past. Perhaps you can relate to that. There's a lot of emotions here, though. There are definitely a lot of emotions, and I think that happens and makes sense for many reasons during this time of year. For festive and for sadness, when we've lost people, we don't have them around anymore, and they're always with us, of course, but we're feeling their absence, and we're just being grateful in a positive, emotional way. And allowing that to happen is very important too. So then we have your possible future. And you have the Ace of Cups. This is pretty remarkable for everybody. So, oh my. This is that very, very special gift. And it could be in the form of love. It certainly will be for a good percentage watching. But I also can say that it has a lot to do with your self-respect and your self-love. And I know for myself that it has really been something I've been focusing on not more than 5 years, to be completely honest with you. I've always heard about it, I believe in it, and I speak of it, but I didn't actually utilize it and really work with that. And boy, has it really been helping me, not to mention just health-wise. It's almost a phenomenon, right? But that's how powerful we are. So this is something that can be so prolific and so incredibly, well, deeply deserved, I mean, is what's coming up for me. But you're just feeling a resonance with something that your heart is so connected to, and whatever that may be, as a general reading once again. But what came up very strongly is this self-love that then allows you to love everything so much more, so much fuller. And that's a gift that's given to all of us, and we can utilize it or not. And, I have my days and could be even nicer to myself. And so it's a work in progress always, but just know you're so incredibly loved. We all are. And love is everything. It's absolutely everything. I would love to know if it's something specifically romantic, because I am a diehard romanticist. I have a Pisces rising, and I've never given up on love. I love many things. Yeah, it's a great feeling. It feels wonderful, especially, like I said, that self-love. Now, the immediate future. Whoa, you have the Page of Pentacles. So you know what? We're going from earth and water here. And like I said, those two elements, they're what really made the creation happen, right? As does fire and air, but it just hasn't been part of it yet. Maybe it'd be part of the stem. That page is that excitement. What can I do? How can I ground myself into my intuitive knowing and just reach inside and just pull out this ability to just create something specifically, or something you don't. Asking for that guidance. What is it that I can help with in some capacity in this world, that would help others or myself, and in helping myself helps others because I'm just a better person that way. It could be that childlike, like, kind of ability to say, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make that, and I'm going to make this much from that, and money's going to come on. It's going to be like a second venture for you, maybe. Could be a moonlighting or a special holiday thing just to get that extra money that you want to spend, on other people in the month. I mean, that happens a lot, those temporary kind of jobs. But it could be about children. Now, when it comes to love, it's generally something that's brought up, and maybe that's what's missing. Maybe that's that empty cup, and you're like, you know what? It's time. And everybody knows that. That's an individual thing too. When it's time. And many people say it's never the right time. Well, there is no right time. Just trust me when I tell you, as a mother, it was the best time. It had some, it's never easy. It's got its ups and downs, but it was and remains the best part of my life. So, yeah, I'm super grateful for that, and emotional. But the next card is going to be part of this Celtic Cross, which is the stem, if you will. And this is going to be the card that I like to say represents just kind of your point of view, and how you're really seeing things. This was your overall energy with the Seven of Cups for everybody. But this position, I think, is your mindset, your perspective on things, just as of right now. We won't even have to go further than this moment, and certainly the reading. And you've got the Two of Swords. So for a lot of you, this is the air element, which has not come up yet, but it's about our minds. It's about our thoughts. Air elements, which are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, they're basically known for their intellect, their ability to communicate well, whether it be verbal or written. They love teaching, they love learning, they love expressing themselves. There's great conversations to be had. There's great ideas and inventions and things of that nature. And there are a couple of different options. So there's I want to say specifically Libra, when there's always the balancing and trying to make a decision and seeing all sides and perspectives, it could pertain to that mostly. I always associate the Justice card mostly with Libra. So maybe I would say then, having said that, more inclined to be perhaps towards Gemini. Now, Gemini's full moon is happening, like I said. So there'll be some illumination being done between this reading on the 2nd and the 15th, which is when the full moon happens in Gemini. And so, yeah, just not overthinking it, not feeling too stressed about it. It's going to be the right decision, whatever you choose. You've got your blindfold on only so that you can sit and meditate or take time to just take deep breaths, not to feel rushed, and know whatever you choose, if it's not both swords, it'll be one, and that'll be the Ace of Swords, and that'll be the right decision. Okay? And not to get overly stressed about it. It's great to have a couple options sometimes, and I know it can be a little challenging. Don't think you're going to make a mistake. You will absolutely be guided to the right choice. And let's say you didn't end up liking the choice somewhere in the future, then you simply make another one. It's really that simple. The thing about the air element is it's very fast moving in the sense that it's continually moving, but it's also like the clouds. They're like moods. They're like coming and going throughout your day, throughout your lifetime, and it's not set in stone, and it's definitely changeable. So yeah, don't sweat it. Now, I've not really seen this before, but it's a tattoo, and I'm trying to, it looks like the scales to me. I could be wrong though. I don't really know. Perhaps you can see it. Can you see that in there? I hope it's not blurry. I don't know. If somebody knows, let me know. But you could pick apart these cards a lot, and they have so much to be said. But just, the birds represent, our mind and our thoughts and speaking and messages. And maybe you're getting too many people talking at once and trying to, make a decision for you. Well, that's also your choice. But I would say just be at peace with yourself and just let it flow, and it'll definitely come to you exactly as it needs to. And especially, I would say, after the new full moon in Gemini, and when the same day we have Mercury retrograde going direct. So then things become a little more clear as far as, communication, technology, transportation, and the things that kind of get a little funky. And, we deal with it. Be patient. And don't try to push that answer for yourself or decision. Just tell them you'll let them know after the 15th, or maybe the new year. Then you'll really know. So then we go on to the next placement, which is going to be the environment. Oh my goodness. Woo! Another earth element for everybody. And this is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen is the more feminine energy. Not that it has to be a female, but the fact that we have the masculine and the feminine energy. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And it has a softer feel to it. It has more of a internal, like heart center, like, oh, I'm wanting to nourish and help and hug and work with people and give of myself, and maybe, donate my time, or, donate toys for tots. All of these things kind of come to mind. The Queen of Pentacles usually is quite comfortable in a lush setting. I mean, they love nature. They love grounded energy of the earth. They're usually very natural, and they just kind of listen, and they take the time to breathe and eat well and take care of their bodies and, nurture themselves. Taurus, being an earth element, is ruled by Venus as well. So yeah, just being more at peace and surrounding yourself with things that make you feel comfortable. Taking a vacation now, going into nature, I don't know how to explain it. I thought it was going to be starting our more wintry aspect of fall, but in the northern hemisphere here. But it is absolutely gorgeous out, and it's supposed to be for the next week. So it's been incredible. So maybe you can do just that and get out, go to the beach, you know, not be freezing. It's just, it's so beautiful. I like that energy a lot. It's very calm. And then we have the a second new moon in the month of December. And that's going to be on the 30th in Capricorn, which is also the earth element. So, you know, the new moon for yesterday, you want to write those intentions down and you want to just put forth all these manifestations that can happen and just believe and achieve, you know, that's the whole energy of that. The grounded energy, just, well, following the new season of winter, which the cardinal sign Capricorn represents, they usher in winter. This is the culmination of the year. It's the culmination of all your thoughts and your issues, and it's, you know, the moon will shine brightly upon them, but you'll feel especially loved and received during this time, you know, as we welcome in a new year. It's just a day, 2 days before the new year. So this is pretty spectacular. I said full moon, huh? And I meant to say new. I apologize. I think I just heard my mind say that. But no, this is about new, right? So new, that new ability to create more money, to create more comforts, and let it last. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am absolutely going to change my tune about my savings, because I'm at a point, it's not funny anymore. Like, I do well, and I'm just one of those people, I never really focused on that. I have trust and belief, and I make sure that I work and I show up and I do all this, but that's not enough sometimes. And I've been shown very clearly as a Libra with 4 planets in Libra and this incredible, you know, eclipse season with Aries and Libra, that transformation is essential. And then, of course, the Pisces in me and this new, you know, like, it's all about this real important change for the better that's going to help me for the rest of my life, which is far less than most of you watching. So taking it serious and also loving my life and trusting too. I have faith. I can do what I need to do. And so can all of you, right? That's what this is about. So that guidance is always there. So then we have the hopes and fears. And there we go with another pentacle. So this is pretty profound, I would say. Not easy to say, but you know what I'm saying. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the messenger, and it has to do with money. So that you're going to be getting some money. A lot of you are going to be receiving money in some form, maybe as gifts. Maybe it's a bonus at this time of year. I don't know about that as an entrepreneurial person. I mean, I don't get those things, but I know a lot of people that do. I know that there's some really good news. And once again, 7 is just, it's only, what is it showing? It doesn't actually, it has a lot of them. I don't know why I said 7. Probably because of this. You're wanting it to grow to that 10, and this is really indicating that it could, but you may have fears. Are you good enough? Are you able to do this? Please let go of those fears, because they will definitely block you and all your wonderful chakras. So believe in it, write down those intentions, and watch them manifest, okay? This is exquisite when it comes to our earthly needs and goods. It's really looking promising for a lot of people. Perhaps you have investments that have been made. It could be from inheritance, of course. It's real. There's a lot of indications of money and future planning and legacy. And then the last card is going to be your outcome card. And you reached it. Beautiful collective. You reached it. The 10 of Pentacles. It felt like it had to be growing, right? I mean, it could. You had the 7. You have the what is this? The Page of Pentacles. Then you have the Queen, and then you have the Knight, and then you have the 10. So happy family, happy life, happy health. Now that to me is absolutely the wealth of all wealth. But it takes doing, and it takes, you know, it takes loving care. It takes balance. It takes, you know, perseverance to not overdo things and, you know, and all the boring stuff, you know, but nevertheless, in the end, you're so grateful, you know, because you get to be around to be with your family and your grandchildren and all that. This is the long-lasting, beautiful, wonderful energy of the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, I love this collective. I'm so happy this happened tonight. I think it makes a lot of sense as we enter into Capricorn season, and that's the earth sign, and it's saying, hey, open your hands, open your heart, and receive. Okay, you all deserve it. There's none that deserves it more than another. We're all in this together, and I just love this. Now, I'm going to do what I said. I do have to be honest with you, though. I don't see any reason to clarify anything other than maybe one, so I will for you. And I'm going to use my beautiful golden Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I brought out my own personal first deck that I had for the December readings that I've had since I was 32. So that's like half a life ago. Okay, so in regards to the Two of Swords that I said, but there was maybe a decision and, a little confusion and a little, feeling trapped or restricted in some way, you have the Hermit, which is absolutely perfect. Of course, it's another earth element. It represents Virgo. And that's going to be the coming eclipses starting in January that are going to be, it'll be Virgo in the South Node. So any placements you have in Virgo, and I have one, and I'm sure all of you have some kind of placement somewhere, it's going to be important. It's about healing. It's about releasing when it's the South Node. But this is our inner guide. This is our higher power. This is the people we turn to that we trust, our gurus and our astrological tarot readers like myself. And many, and it has the star in the lantern that's carried around, because when you believe and you hold your dreams close to you and you never let them go, that's when they come about. And they may come about in different ways. We know this, it's not always exact, but if it's sometimes, and I find for myself, and perhaps you can agree, it's far better. It's far better. And that just deserves a gratitude. Thank you very much right off the bat, right? So I love seeing that for you. Go within, like I said, give yourself some time and space so you don't have to feel pressured about it. So I love that. That's a great confirmation. And then I'm going to be pulling the Animal Spirit card for everybody. And it's a beautiful deck. I love this. I've had it for some time, but I love it because it's really big. And it is the Animal Medicine card deck. Hopefully you can see this. There we go. So there we are. And then I'll do a little shuffle. And I am going to read to you what it says. But let me get this out first. And this will be for the collective. Like I said, this is one card that represents all of us. And something that Spirit wants us to be aware of for some reason. Whatever this animal may be, maybe you're familiar, maybe you have a farm, maybe you just see it in your dreams, maybe you see it in your backyard and whatnot. You have the pigeon. Okay, well, that's beautiful. Now, my grandmother was born and raised, no, she wasn't. She lived in San Francisco, California, where I don't live far from, but my mother was born and raised there. And so I saw pigeons all the time, and I thought they were friendly. I've been told all different things about them, but I love this. This is our white pigeon with the fiery red brick in the background. They're very capable and independent. They know how to fend for themselves and get the food they need and so forth. And what am I looking for? Here it is. Let me read to you what it says specifically about this beautiful pigeon. Should be in order here alphabetically. So let's see here. Element OP. Yes. Song, peace, and home. That's funny too, because not only are water signs very, very comfortable at home, and they do make great homemakers. I mean, Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpio, they're very, very much about family and their home dwelling and just keeping it comfortable for everybody. And they just as soon be there a lot of times. They can work from home and be perfectly content. And also, the grounded area, and like as I mentioned, you know, the opportunity to maybe buy your own home, your first home, or renovate your home, or, you know, make changes in your home is pretty prevalent during this time with Capricorn and the others as well. But it says, pigeon knows how to come home. Drawing pigeon indicates a time to deepen your peace with where you came from. This can be done in your heart, even if your mind cannot align. Pigeon is dove in gray city clothes, and like dove, brings peace, gentleness, and understanding with soothing songs and cuckoos. It's one of my favorite sounds. And I had a pigeon, not a pigeon, but a dove that was cooing every morning and pretty much every evening. And it's now gone away, but I know it'll be back. But the serenity I feel from it, perhaps you can relate, is pretty special. I felt it was being sung just to me, to be honest. Pigeon is present and peaceful, both in the beauty of Earth's nature and in human cities. Even in a crowded train station or huddled under an awning outside of a deli to get out of the rain, it is possible to be a being of song, peace, and friendship. Ooh, that really just hit me somehow in my lower chakras of, you know, grounded energy again, because even in the hustle and bustle, right, there's always a knowing that, you know, you can call some place your home, where you feel that peace, where you can sing and you can be in harmony with it. And so I love that a lot. I hope you can resonate with that as well. And I'm going to finish with your oracle message, which will be from the deck of the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Beautiful decks, so many to choose from. And once again, thank you very much for stay tuned. If you're here at all and you're still tuned in, this will be, like I said, I want to do weekly. And I love reading, and I have for many, many years. And I want to expand this channel and expand my ability to share time with you. And at some point, only doing this. But there's still some time, about 1.5 years or so from that. But you can be a big part of that if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe and to help me grow this channel and just be part of my community, my tribe. I love and appreciate and really thrive in the connection. Thank you for those that have already become a subscriber. It means very, very much. It makes me smile. So there's a message right there for you. Why? Like a child, right? That inner page, that childlike wonder. Why? That's really something. I haven't seen this one in a long time. It's number 31. 3 + 1 = 4. Here's the 4 of Cups. That's that stability you want. That's that grounded energy, that home, you know, that comfort, that protection. Let's do another one. So why? If you're like me, I'm always wanting to know why. I want to know, like, I have 3 planets in Scorpio, so it's like, no, that's not good. That's not good enough. I need to know really why. You know? And I will find out one way or another. Exchanging gifts. Well, how appropriate is that? And that's a beautiful card. And if you don't have gifts, like I make a lot of my gifts. I love making things. It's a 727, so that's a 9, and 9 is a very spiritual number. It's the ending of certain cycles and the beginning of another. It's exchanging gifts in the way that works for you and that you feel comfortable and not, you know, obligated. But it's from the heart, right? There's the pink, of course, representing the heart. There's the animal. And don't forget to give your beautiful pets gifts, right? They will know. One more for the heck of it. So 3's a charm, as they say. Tick-tock. Time is ticking. Always is, isn't it? It is, Mammy. Don't get too frustrated about time, though, please, because it'll seem slower now with the retrogrades, and you may want to just like, well, breathe deep and do the grounding meditation for sure when you feel a little frustrated and you feel like, oh, I'd like to be doing more. Oh, my gosh, please. And honestly, all of that changes. It's just a certain time, and then this too shall pass. But Be aware. It's number 3, 30. That's working together with others. That's continuing with your ideas during the times that are a little slower. You could be writing things down. You could be manifesting in all sorts of ways, right? It doesn't just come from actual physical activity. It's a lot of mental and a lot of heart-centered focus. So I love it. This is a phenomenal reading, and I pray that you're resonating in even the smallest way with this. And if not, that it will come true for you through the month and into the new year. Bless you, and I will be here next week if you want to join. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Bye for now.